Hi, Dr. Greg Gillum, CEO of Human Fusion. Welcome to part 2 of a short guide to building your team's critical thinking skills by Matt Plummer, which appeared in Harvard Business Review on October 11th, 2019. Now, in the first video, we looked at all the issues around critical thinking, why there's such a problem in developing it when we're in the face of needing that skill more than any other time than we can remember. And so this article looks at mashing up 3 or 4 different critical thinking models into one. Zarvana is the company that's developed this. It's called the Critical Thinking Roadmap, and phase 1 is execution. Now, execution is simply having your team members do what they are asked to do. Now, on the surface, that seems unbelievably simple. Like, when I first read that, I'm like, that can't be right. I'm missing something. But think about this. It may seem basic and even almost pre-critical thinking, but converting instructions into action is actually a very important critical thinking skills. It involves verbal reasoning. Now, verbal, don't get hung up on that because a lot of people do. Verbal means both auditory and written. It just means having to do with words. So don't get caught up on that terminology. So verbal reasoning, decision making, and problem solving are all very, very important in simply following instructions. And that's all we want people to do in the first phase of critical thinking. Can they do what you've asked them to do? It sort of also begs to evaluate your own ability to delegate as well. But anyway, if you think about these 3 questions, this will help you understand whether or not your team members are doing this phase appropriately. Number 1, do they complete all parts of an assignment? Not just some, but they do everything well. They do all parts of the assignment. Do they complete them on time? And do they complete them close to or at your standard of quality? So if you can answer yes to all 3 of those questions, they're probably ready to move forward into the next phase. If they're struggling, you can ask them to re-articulate the assignment once you give it to them. Make sure they can repeat it back to you. You can give them smaller assignments with more frequent deadlines or more immediate deadlines. Once they've begun the work, then have them explain to you what they did, how they did it, and why they did it that way. And that way they're really starting to think about more broadly what you're asking them to do. And once team members are making suggestions for how to improve their own work, they're ready for the next phase. And we'll cover that in the next video. If you like management-related videos like this, please subscribe to Human Fusion, and we'll keep you up to date on all the latest trends that are affecting you as a manager and your management practice.